In the humid shadows of the South, music is never merely a matter of meter or rhyme. It is a blood pulse, a haunting choir rising from the red clay and the stagnant swamp water. These melodies are our true inheritance, carrying the weight of a century's grief and glory in the time it takes for a tallow candle to flicker and die. Within the span of a few desperate minutes, a song unearths the same ghosts that Toni Morrison, Fannie Flagg, and Tennessee Williams spent hundreds of ink-stained pages trying to exorcise. The secrets they buried in chapters of typeset prose, the family rot, the hidden sins, and the fierce, jagged beauty of our land are all laid bare in the vibration of a single steel string.
Listen, my dear friends, for there is a journey that never quite left the red clay of the mind, and I would tell you of a strange and clamorous bird that once attempted to soar through the fevered imagination of our people. It was the year 1986 when a tale called Southern Air was released upon the album Surely You Joust. They say it was penned by the architects Brent, Holmes, and Stuart Bill, but it was Ray Stevens who acted as the director and curator of this fragile scripted playground of regional stereotypes. He brought together Minnie Pearl and Jerry Clower, and they breathed into it a performative interpretation that brought genuine Southern Vaudeville energy to the tape. This was comedy country, a piece of Southern satire that elevated the work from a mere novelty track to a living museum of regional comedic performance, where sound effects like propeller engine hums and intercom static served as the song's fading scenery. Let us look upon it as a piece of literature, for its voice is a thing of first-person plural and heavily dialogue-driven illusion. It is structured as a chaotic intercom broadcast from the cockpit of a fictional, budget regional airplane, where the narrators are hilariously unreliable, ditching standard aviation protocol for folksy, down-home banter that filled the cabin. The imagery within it relies heavily on the comedy of juxtaposition, painting visual snapshots of high-tech flight mixed with rural farm life. They spoke of flight attendants serving fatback, and they spoke of landing gears dodging cows. Look upon the airplane itself, for it serves as a metaphor for the rapid modernization of the South in the late 20th century, an attempt to force high-flying corporate progress into a cultural framework that still prefers to operate at the speed of a mule. They spoke, and the vowels stretched long across the valley. The use of thick, phonetically rich Southern dialects provides the drive and rhythm, where the drawn-out vowels of Pearl and the booming, rapid-fire Mississippi delivery of Clower act as the song's meter. At its thematic core lies the clash between tradition and modernity, exploring how traditional rural identity refuses to be smoothed over by technological advancement, resulting in a hilariously absurd hybridization. This story belongs to a subculture identity that leans heavily into the rural working-class South, embracing the Grand Ole Opry and the hee-haw aesthetic of the mid to late 1900th century. It is an absolute buffet of regional signifiers, offering Minnie Pearl's iconic howdy greeting and Jerry Clower's classic references to Yazoo City, Mississippi, alongside mentions of local foodways and good old boy flight maneuvers. If you look closely at the light and the dark, you will see the song sidesteps racial dimensions in favor of a class-based, hyper-localized white Southern identity. It becomes a celebration and a gentle ribbon of the rural working class navigating the emerging corporate world of commercial travel. Now we must ask ourselves if this is a portrait of authenticity or merely a myth born of fevered dreams. It is firmly hillbilly drag, a highly polished caricature of our people. While it stems from the real-life personas of Pearl and Clower, who both pulled from genuine rural roots, this work takes those authentic roots and stretches them to theatrical, absurd extremes for comedic effect. It is not the romanticizing the past, nor does it explore the dark secrets of the Southern grotesque that haunt the old decaying mansions of our lineage. Instead, it falls squarely into the realm of the comic absurd, celebrating a noisy, colorful, and defiant regional eccentricity. It heavily reinforces the bumbling but lovable hillbilly trope, yet because it is delivered by titans of Southern humor themselves, it lands as self-deprecating community inside joking rather than an insult levied by outsiders. What then is the legacy of this clattering bird of tin? For outsiders, this song reinforces the Mayberry image of the South as an unrefined, technologically behind, but aggressively friendly territory, contributing heavily to the imagined South popularized by classic television variety shows. For Southerners, it serves as a massive comfort blanket of nostalgia, bringing together legends of the region and paying homage to the fading era of Southern oral storytelling and radio comedy. While not standard highbrow literature, its literary merit lies in its function as a pristine time capsule of 1980s Southern pop culture humor, a monument of nostalgia, blending the comedic legacies of its performers to comment on a region caught awkwardly between its past and its future. I am driving to New Orleans instead of flying.
Honey, don't you wear yourself thin over it. If you've a mind to hear that melody again, you'll find a path to it tucked right there in the description, just waiting for you to sit a spell and listen. Now, be a precious soul and tap that subscribe button for me. Give that little bell a ring so you don't miss a word, and leave a thumbs up if the spirit moves you. We're glad you stopped by, and we'll be keeping the porch light on for you. Y'all come back now, you hear?